Hello and welcome to Trade Talk Markets the week ahead. Today I'm going to discuss with you Nifty 50 analysis, Bank Nifty analysis, some interesting stocks, what happened in the previous week, what do we expect in the coming week, and much more. So let me begin with major news drivers for the week. So on Monday, September 4th, the IPO of Ratnavir Precision Engineering opens for subscription. On Tuesday, we have the S&P Global India Services PMI data that is coming out. The last time that we got this data, the number was 62.3 for July as compared to 58.5 in June, which was an unexpected rise. On September 6th, we have another IPO, which is Jupiter Lifeline Hospitals Limited. On Thursday, which is the expiry day, we have the US jobless data that will come out, obviously during US market hours. On Friday, the September 8th, we have some Indian data that we're expecting, which is the loan growth book and the forex reserves. Hence, the next week seems to be a data-packed week with two IPOs opening up for subscription. On the global front, we had the Nifty and the Sensex, which gave us a positive move as compared to data on the last week. Whereas the global indices, Hang Seng and the Dow, ended marginally in red. On the other hand, we had Nasdaq, CAC, and FTSE, which ended marginally in the green. Hence, on the global front, we actually had some mixed data. Now, let me tell you about the Indian markets. In the Indian markets, in the last week, we had some stocks that did amazingly well. Tata Steel up with about 8.5%. Maruti Suzuki, which was one of the biggest gainers, up about 8.6%. NTPC about 5.8%. Hindalco and Mahindra, which was 5%. On the other side, on the losing side, we have some stocks, which is Dr. Reddy, about 3.5%. HUL, about 2.3%. Reliance Industries, the heavyweight, about 2.2%. Adani Enterprises and BPCL. So these are stocks that lost in the week. However, an interesting data set for us to watch out for. The FII and the DII figures in the cash market. In terms of the FIIs, we've seen some mixed bag buying and selling that was happening. On the 31st of August, FIIs actually sold 2,900 crores of shares in the cash market. However, in totality, if you see, FIIs have been net sellers through the week. The DII buying, on the other hand, has been very, very high. If you've seen, DII have been net buyers every single day. So there's been some amazing accumulation by the DIIs. Nifty chart analysis. Now, let me take you to the chart of Nifty and show you what we exactly see, what we saw last week, and how or what can happen to Nifty in the coming week. So let me show you, this is a chart of Nifty. This is a daily chart of Nifty. The last time that we discussed Nifty, we discussed it on a weekly base. Let me start with that. On a weekly base, like I told you last week, this trend line seems to be a very, very good support. And Nifty is exactly in this week bottomed out at the trend line. And what I see coming next is the body of this week's candle has almost engulfed the previous week's candle. Obviously, it's not completely engulfed, but it has already engulfed the body of the previous candle, which means that the negative weeks that we are seeing on Nifty, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negative continuous weeks, has finally a green shoot coming up with volumes. So this is one positive news for all the ones looking for some buy trades. On the monthly chart, however, starting a new month, we're seeing that there's been buying from the bottom, exactly from where the previous candle stopped. So we are seeing buying. That means the support or the lows of the previous candle have been safeguarded. So on the Nifty, basically what I'm seeing is on the daily chart also, I'm coming to the daily chart, and on the daily chart, I'm seeing that Nifty has managed to close above its moving average. So Nifty has actually managed to close above the 20-day moving average. So this is some interesting data point. Previously, it was taking support from the 50-day. The 50-day moving average is the blue line that you see. So from the 50-day moving average, you can see Nifty going and crossing the 20-day moving average. Hence, this is an interesting data point. Let's see what it does from here. So that's about our analysis on the Nifty chart. Let's go back and see some data, what your futures and options data are telling you about Nifty. So I'm going to highlight some supports and resistance levels. On the cash levels, Nifty, the support one is 19,255, and the support two happens to be about 18,900 to 19,000 levels. So on break of the previous low that it made in the last week, 19,255, you can expect a fall towards the 19,000 and 18,900 level. However, since this low has been safeguarded, let's look out for levels on the upside. So the first resistance is the previous stop that the Nifty had made, which is 19,530. So somewhere around 19,530, you see resistance. If that is crossed, 19,650 is the next level. So these are the levels that you will have to watch out for. On the other hand, some FNO data, some interesting data. This is on the weekly chart. So for the next expiry, this is going to be very, very handy and important to you. Uh, Put open interest is highest at 19,300. So we've seen some built up, which is the highest at 19,300, which means that, the bulls are saying that the markets will not go below 19,300 for now. That's what the weekly data is suggesting, if you see this from a writer's point of view. Also, on the other hand, we've seen that there has been some built up on the 19,400 put option as well. So 400 and 300 are two levels where we are seeing some put writing, which means that the buyers are fairly sure that the market should sustain these levels. So this is an important level to watch out for. Highest open interest on the put side is at 19,300. So if we have made a base of the low of Nifty that we saw in the last week, which is around 19,300, it should hold, and we should expect at least till the next week for this to stay up. Also, let's look at where the call writing is. So basically where the highest call writers are. On the call writing side, I'm seeing that the highest call writers are somewhere around the 19,600 and the 500 levels. So these are the two bars which we're seeing, 500 and 600. They are not as big as the put writers, but yes, there are call writers. Hence, these are the two levels which are our resistance zones that we're going to watch out for. So the data also suggests the same thing which the charts have suggested to us. 500 and 600 happen to be resistance levels. However, 300 is a good support level. On the monthly time frame, so I'm looking at data on a monthly time frame. What we see interestingly is that the highest put OI is at 19,000. So for now, the level which we spoke about, 19,000, that has the highest put open interest OI, which is followed by 19,500. So, it looks like bulls are fairly confident that on a monthly level, we should reach 19,500 and go upwards. That's why there's writing in the 19,000, 19,500 puts. On the call side, if I try and notice, the highest OI is at 20,000. Okay, so good signal for, the bulls here. But the highest OI on the monthly basis is at 20,000. However, the other strikes have fairly little OI. As time progresses, week on week, we would see what this open interest is doing. We are still at the start of the month, and at the start of the month, the data is looking fairly good. So coming to Bank Nifty chart. So this was our analysis on the Nifty. Let's go out to the Bank Nifty chart. Let's see what Bank Nifty has in store for us. When I see the Bank Nifty charts, this is what I see. The last time that we discussed on the weekly chart, that Bank Nifty has actually taken support from the 20 DMA. Remember, I told you the index which is stronger than the Nifty happens to be the Bank Nifty, because the Nifty is somewhere at the 50 EMA level. However, Bank Nifty has only touched the 20 EMA level. It's higher than the Nifty in terms of the EMAs. And it has touched the 20 EMA and has bounced. As you can see, the last three candles, previously there was a fall, 4 candles which are red. This candle, which was the last week's candle, which was ended in green. So the Bank Nifty ended up. Basically, this week's candle, where we expect that the low was very close to the previous week, but now heading upwards. So the low or the bottom is exactly at the moving average. So which is the positive sign for people who are there on the long side. Your moving average is a must watch for to be intact in your positions. On a monthly time frame, if I see, there happened to be a very big red monthly candle in the last month, but this month seems to be a little promising in terms of the way the candle has started forming. You will come to know as the month progresses, if this low is safeguarded, you can expect some movements on the green candle. So on the Bank Nifty, the charts suggest that at least the monthly, weekly, and the daily suggest that they've moved up from their respective support zones. Coming to the F&O data, and let's see what the F&O data has to say on the Bank Nifty. So on the Bank Nifty, we've got some levels, interesting levels that we want to follow. Basically, the support lies at 53,570 and 42,780. These are cash levels. These are levels, basically 43,570 is the level from which we bounced up. And now the resistance is 44,770 and 45,000. So these are some levels we'll watch out for on the basis of charts. Let's go out to weekly OI data and see what the open interest is actually telling us. So when I see the weekly OI data, the open interest is saying that there is highest put writing for the week at 44,000, which means that the bulls are saying that 44,000 seems to be intact in the week. However, the highest call writing happens to be somewhere around the 44,500 levels. So 44,500 level seems to be the first resistance level for the weekly base. However, going to the monthly base, the data looks a little different. On a monthly base, 46,000 has the highest open interest, which means that the bears think that the prices will not move above 46,000. 46,000 is a range which will be intact, which was the previous top, just to say. And in the current put writing scenario, you can see that the highest puts are written at 44,000 as well as 43,000. So 44, 43,000 have the highest puts, and 46,000 on the upper side, on the upper band, has the highest call rating. So interesting data. Monthly obviously will pan out. This is the start of the month. Every week we keep tracking this to see how the data is moving. But the weekly data is surely telling us that there is a 500 to 700 point range in which the Bank Nifty is expected to move. Now let me go to the last part and the most interesting part. Some of the stocks where we are seeing momentum, some of the stocks that are hitting 52-week highs or all-time highs. I'm going to show you the charts, but these three stocks are NTPC, Maruti, and TVS Motors. So two automobile companies here. Let's go out and see their charts and see why there is momentum. So, coming to the charts here, let me show you what I see. First, I'll start with TVS Motors. TVS Motors recently, on a daily base, gave a breakout from the June month high. So June high, July high, very close. August high, again, very close to the previous tops. And finally, it broke the trend line and moved upwards in September. So this is the breakout in September. This is on a daily. So on a daily time frame, we've got the breakout. If I switch to a weekly time frame, this is how it looks. This is the weekly time frame. And obviously, if I switch to a monthly time frame, this is how it looks. So the stock has been doing amazingly well. The last time that it touched the moving average, it was at about 600 odd levels. And from there till today at 1400 odd levels, the stock has just been kind of doing higher tops, higher bottoms, besides this one sideways patch. And again, started doing higher tops and higher bottoms on a monthly basis. So this stock again looks like it's in momentum for the week. The other stock which I've noticed is NTPC. NTPC on a weekly basis has already given a breakout. So if you see the previous top that it had made a top here. So from here, we've already got our breakout on a weekly base. However, moving to a daily base, if you see a daily base, the breakout has come just on the last trading day, which happens to be on Friday. So on Friday, we had the breakout of NTPC. We're going to watch out for these levels. And on a monthly base, if I see, it's definitely a very interesting chart to see, because the last time that NTPC ever traded at these levels was in 2007. So this not only happens to be a weekly or a daily breakout, this actually happens to be a multi-year breakout. So if I were to draw a trend line, it actually highest close was breached here, and the top, which happens to be here, somewhere at the 240 levels, post which it will go in the all-time high zone. So this stock has consolidated from 2007 to 2023, and finally in 2023 it's seen some momentum. So this has to be on your watch list. So this is NTPC for you guys. And the last one, which is obviously one of the most awaited five-figure stocks, is Maruti in front of us. So this is a daily chart. On the daily, we also had a breakout where Maruti finally broke its 10,000 rupee zone. Previously, you see it had touched 10,000 multiple times, at least 3 times, and finally it's broken out from that zone. So this is another interesting stock to watch out for in the coming week. On a weekly base also, it's given the breakout and a close above 10,000, which is important for the stock. And this is your monthly chart. Looks interesting enough. It had a rally, from 2013 to 2018, came back to some of its moving averages, took support of its moving average, and then is finally again breaking out. So this has to be another stock in your radar. Very interesting setups. So yeah, that's about what we wanted to share with you on our weekly trade talk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you really benefited from this. And last week, the trade talk that we did with you, we also discussed some stocks which happen to be some of the highest gainers. So please don't forget to show us your love. Put it in your comments what you'd like to hear on a weekly wrap up. And that's about it. Dinesh Thakkar signing off. Thank you and happy trading.